All right, man. Well, first off, I'd like to thank you for doing this interview with the Hype Magazine tonight.
Come on, man. Thank you for having me, bro. You already know how we get in.
Yes, sir. And to let people know who may not be familiar, can you tell them who you are and where you from?
My name is Rockett. I'm from Carson, California. Yeah, that's it.
Do you think growing up in California made it harder for you or easier for you to get into the music industry?
I mean, I think it's a little bit of both. I feel like being in California, you got options. I mean, it's part of the entertainment infrastructure, I would say. You know, New York, California, Houston, some of these, Atlanta, some of these places are very in touch with the music industry. But also the culture here makes it hard to get into anything. You know what I mean? Like, you know, your first like 25 years here are treacherous. So it's like surviving to 25. That might be a new California slogan, survive to 25. So, but yeah, I feel like it helped me. It could have hurt, but I feel like it helped me.
What made you want to get into the game in the first place? Like coming from California, you know what I mean? I know you as an artist, so we'll highlight a little bit of that. And then, like I said, we're going to get more into the dope stuff you're into. But what made you want to become an artist in the first place?
I'm a natural. I was something that just came natural to me. You know what I mean? It was, I grew up in church, so I played the drums. You know, my mom's a singer. My dad can sing. My sister can sing. So music was always a part of my life growing up. You know, I love music. So yeah, for me, it was a natural. It was just a gift that I had. God had given me, and it allowed me to put words together at a high rate.
Who were some of your earlier mentors? Either people, you said your mom and dad, of course, but like anybody you studied as an artist or, you know, in the game that you were mentored by?
Mentorship. I would have to say Nocturnal. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Nocturnal out of the West. He was signed to Dr. Dre. Yeah. Nocturnal is actually one of the first guys who taught me how to write a complete song. You know what I mean? Just to make big records. DJ Quick was also somebody who I felt like, you know, had a big influence on me. Had went down and worked with him one time. So I mean, I would say those are the mentors. As far as fans, you know, I was a fan of Snoop, fan of Dre, fan of Pac. I was a big fan, Eminem fan. You know, I was a fan of those guys, man. Music at that time was, you know, late 90s, early 2000s was colossal. You know, Jay-Z, these guys are still in the business now, you know, making money and making records. So yeah, I was big fans of those guys.
Yeah. When we first were introduced, like you were my first interview. I told you this many times, man. Because of you, I got into the interview game. You and Rick gave me an opportunity. And man, you're such a dope artist, man. You were so talented, and I love what you brought to the game. What was it about you think that made you stand out? You know what I mean? Like you came up in those years you were talking about, and you made a name for yourself. A lot of people love what you brought. What do you think you did to, you know, stand out?
I was somebody that was gonna figure it out by any means necessary. Yeah. So I would travel if I felt like it was there. I would go there. If I had to stand at the gas station and hand out mixtapes, I would do that. If I had to, you know, stay up all night listening to music or get up early in the morning and drive to the Bay, whatever I had to do to get my music heard, I was doing that. You know, and to do what I do now, it's like that kind of paved the way for me. It was almost like being a politician, right? I've been state to state shaking hands for a long time. So, you know, now looking back, all of that kind of, you know, formed me for who I am today.
Yeah, I was gonna say with you being the artist that you were and running in the major circles that you did, is it helping you now in your role, you know, dealing with artists and making sure they don't go through some of the BS that you went through? Like you've laying a great blueprint right now. Has that helped you think, because you were an artist originally?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I know this business in and out, right? I've done every part of this business, you know what I mean, from both sides. So Yeah, I think that it helps me a lot. Also, knowing that artists do need instructions, right? You do need somebody that can mentor you, in this business. Everything in life, there's always somebody that shows you. You need to, if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or a physician, whatever you want to be. There's steps you need to take to get to the highest level. And music is the same way, right? I mean, you can accidentally go in the studio and make a hit, and but you'll be gone in 3 months. Like, this business has shown you that if you take the proper steps, you can work in this business forever. So, I think being an artist has guided me to show these guys the right way to be successful for a long term.
You have a very amazing team. I'll highlight a couple of them, but first I want to highlight Rick, legend in his own right, has done amazing things in the music and, in the clothing and all of that. How did you guys meet in the first place? And what was it about Rick that made you say, hey, let's collab and, form this amazing team that you guys have today?
Oh, man, Rick Edwards, man. Rick Edwards, to me, was was our Shaq and Kobe. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're the Jordan and Pippen. Rick is a guy who's just, played the background, but owned the background. You know what I mean? Just because he was in the background, he owned the background, meaning that, he was back there because he wanted to be, not because he had to be. And he kind of gave me the motivation and the infrastructure, because 90% of the time Rick did everything. When I was signed to CTE, that wasn't CTE, that was Rick Edwards. You know what I mean? Yep. When I was moving around traveling, that was Rick Edwards. You know what I mean? If I went somewhere and shook hands, Rick was right there shaking hands also. Rick is also a clothing genius, worked with the Machiavelli brands, the Notorious B.I.G. brands, so many more brands. But yeah, Rick is a mastermind, somebody that I just hold dearly in my heart, that gave me a lot of instruction in the business side of things. So yeah, Rick Edwards he's my vote for president. So if he ever gets a ballot, y'all make sure y'all vote for my dog.
Yeah, and I can speak to that, man, because we had the chance to meet. Shout out to Casper with the Hitman DJs. We were at the Hitman launch on the West Coast, and you and Rick just hanging out on the street. And me and my partner, St. James, we came up, talked, like we had already interviewed you, so we had a great relationship. I tell Sincere this all the time. I didn't know who y'all did all the stuff you did. Like, I don't pay attention to all that stuff. You were so humble. You both just standing there like, like just normal people. I'm like, oh, you did that and he did this. And it's just amazing to me. How do you guys stay so humble in an industry when everybody else is about ego and being braggadocious? But the two of you have done more than most people before you even start the industry. So how do you stay humble in this?
I was grounded with morals. Rick was also grounded with morals. There's no, big I's, little U's here. You know what I mean? It's we do things without expectation of return. We try to look out for people just because that's who we are. And Rick is definitely a testament to being a good person. Rick is just a good person. I want to be a good person. So when we meet people, we don't meet people with the intentions of anything. If you're just a good person, you're just a good person, and we rock with you. Doesn't matter if you're the janitor or if you're the head of a label. It doesn't matter. We rock with you. And I live my life by that. I know Rick also lived his life by that. And, now where I am in life, the people I surround myself live their life by that. So, I don't even like to call it humble. I just like to call it good people, because good people treat good people well. It doesn't matter who you are or what you are or what you do, or just good people, man. And you've always been just good people, and I've tried to be good people. So,
And then I gotta definitely, she's not gonna like this because she doesn't like me mentioning her too much, but I gotta mention Sincere, man, because as soon as we started talking, she mentioned you and she's like, that's my brother. And when she found out I already knew you, it was kind of like, oh, you know him too. So, how did you and Sincere meet, and what's it been like over these years of, having this great camaraderie and, doing these dope projects together and activations and all this stuff we're about to get into?
Me and Sincere Mike got about 15 years in, 13, 15 years. I think it was at a retreat that I met her. And she's also somebody that's just good people. You know what I mean? She has a big heart. You know, always tries to look out for people. She plays the background a lot too when she doesn't have to, but she does it. She's a great team player. And now I have her working with me with some really big artists and clients. So Sincere is that's my sis. She knows I love her. And she got a work ethic. For me, work ethic is everything, right? Even when I did music, I worked hard.
Facts.
I do numerous of songs. I would sit in studios all night listening to beats. I would find samples. I would find different rap patterns. I would try to, find ways to make my voice an instrument, you know what I mean, on the track. So I just think everybody around me has to work hard. Like laziness just isn't in me. It isn't who I am. And Rick and Sincere are the same way. So that's why we just work so well as a team.
What made you go from, like I said, you mentioned it, you were CTE, you were at the top of the top when you were an artist, and you stepped away from that. What made you go behind the scenes, and how's that experience been for you?
Music was my, I would say, second love. Sports is my first love. So that's really what I loved. I love the music also.
Okay.
The business took the love out of music for me at one point, right? Instead of me being in love with music, I was in the music business. The people in the music business aren't as genuine as I am, right? And as a young artist, I would take conversations to heart, meaning that if we said we were going to do something and we didn't do it, I would address that, right? I would bring that to the forefront. So it just came to a point where it was just like, okay, this, and it's not that I couldn't have been just as big as half of these other artists. I can still probably to this day, I'll rhyme half of them. You know what I mean? It wasn't that I wasn't charismatic enough or had enough energy, or it was just, I just came to a point where that, I was done. It was just like, I didn't want to play anymore because the person who I am, probably gonna get me in trouble. So I was just like, let me let y'all have it.
Everybody says they want to be in this music industry, and I can speak to that as well for you. You're such a great person. So when you got to deal with the BS that comes into this industry, like if you're just a really dope person, your talent is what it is, you outworked everybody, that should be it. You shouldn't have to be involved with all that political stuff that goes in. How do you advise people now when you're managing them and stuff like that to stay away from all that stuff and still get, the results that you guys are getting, but not involving with all the shenanigans or stuff that goes on as being part of the industry?
I mean, for me, it's just not taking it personal, right? That's one thing you learn about business, right? As a businessman, don't take it personal. And that's what I advise, the people that I work with today. It's not personal, it's just business. Everybody's trying to make something, everybody's trying to do something. If somebody finds room to get over on you on business, they're gonna try to. And it's not personal. It's on you to know your business enough not to let them. And back then, I felt like, hey, if you as cool as you say you was, why would you try that? Or why would you? My morals and my the way I grew up was a little different. So I would be like, hey, if you really my dog, we wouldn't do that to each other in the first place.
Yeah.
But I mean, in the music business, you don't have many friends. You have associates, right? These people are they're here to gain, and you're here to gain, and you feel how to make it gain together. And if you can't, then you walk away. But just don't take it personal. Nothing's personal anymore. It's like, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. Yeah. And if you want it bad enough, keep trying to make it work somewhere else, but don't take it personal.
Yeah. When you made that change in your philosophy and you learned not to take it personal and it's just business, what was the first signs that you made the right decision? Like, how did things change for you when you started getting more into being business minded and not taking the industry personally?
I just didn't give a fuck. Let's be honest anymore, right? It got to the point where it was like, my whole life as a young man, I don't want to say I cared what other people think, but I did want to make a staple on, if I had my beliefs, I want to show you what I believe in, right? I was definitely big on that, right? Hey, I believe in this, so I'm gonna show you. However it goes, I'm gonna show you. This is what I believe in. Yeah. And it was at the time it was great because I was passionate about everything I did. I was passionate. I was all in. As I got a little older, right?
Yeah.
I care less to show you. Like I don't really care if you don't like what I like or like what I don't like. As long as nobody's disrespectful or violating what I believe, then I don't even, man, at this point in my life, doing what I do, everything is just if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I know that everything that I touch is golden. I'm good at that. I'm great at that. I know that I can do it. If I get the right people around me, find the right guys, find the right girls, we can make something happen and it's golden. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I made the transition maybe about 10 years ago where I was just like, it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And you made your own way, let's segue to your clothing and your management company, make your own way. I love the moniker of that. It's so powerful because as humans, we really do make our own way. If you want to be negative, I guarantee you a lot of negative stuff's going to come your way. But if you stay positive, smiling, in good spirits, then, a lot of that. Did you do the clothing line first or did you do the management company first?
Nah, it's crazy. The management company I had almost 10 years ago was just something that I popped up. Wouldn't just copyrighted it, got the LLC for it, and then I am managing a client who has a clothing line. Sorry, I was trapping. Yeah, and he was just like, "Hey, you should try this. See what happens." So I did that. It's going well, of course. You know what I mean, right? So, you know what? I try it all now, Matt. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. It's not, I try a little bit of everything now, man. If it's business minded and I feel like it could be something that I can be successful in, I go for it now. I'm doing it.
You mentioned you have some high level clients. I'm gonna highlight. I want to first go to Pac-Man Jones because you said you love athletics as well. Yeah. So what's it like to have a legendary athlete like him, who's also a dope MC artist that's doing the rounds with all the DJs and building his own lane? Like, how's that feel to be, behind someone that has both of those talents under your management company?
I mean, that's great, right? Pac-Man is a brother to me, right? Okay. Pac-Man go way back, 4 flats on a Cadillac. Like, Pac used to come to my parties 20 years ago, and to be working with Pac-Man Jones is amazing. Pac, to me, is one of those guys who has the superstar personality, right? There's nothing that Pac-Man Jones can't do. Podcast is going crazy. The Pac-Man Jones show's doing well. His music's doing well. We all know he was in, to me, the Hall of Fame cornerback, top 5 to me. And his personality is that of a high status client. He's just high energy, fashionable, charismatic, a little crazy sometimes, but that's my dog, right? So just working with Pac is a dream come true. It's a dream come true.
Did you know he had the work ethic? Like, we all know athletes take a lot of work ethic to him, but Pac-Man Jones, like, he's still out here really on the grind. Like, I've seen him in some of the smallest venues, doing the promotional stuff and loving it. I've seen him in some big venues and tearing the stage down. Like, did you know he was going to be this work? Did you know he was going to have this work ethic when he started helping him?
Yes and no. Okay. Pac is a workout freak, bro.
Like,
this dude is 40 years old and he looks like he's 29, right? Pac is still on a treadmill. He's with his kids working out. So that I already knew he had workout, work ethic. I knew he had that. And that usually carries over as it shows discipline, right? Discipline is all you need to be successful in almost anything. If you're disciplined enough and you have enough passion, you can be anything. And Pac has both. So I wasn't shocked when Pac could do 10 songs a night, or what I mean, do 10 hostings or record podcast or his own show. Pac is destined to be great in whatever he does, and I'm just so honored to work with him as a friend, as a client, and as a person. Bro, Pac is an awesome man. So
I want to highlight that too because
he's wild, but it ain't all true.
I wanted to highlight that too, because a lot of times when you start helping someone, you don't know if they're going to be about the work life. You don't know if they're going to be willing to go to the club all those hours. So when someone like him is doing the right things, I think we should highlight that for him and salute him, because he didn't come in with any ego. He just got to work, and he's starting to build a really dope name. You also got affiliations with Tony Yayo, Dave East, you know what I mean, through your management company. I know those are your brothers too, but what's it like being, having them a part of your team and getting to help with their careers as well?
I mean, Yayo's that's my dog. We just talked yesterday about this podcast that we're pitching.
Okay.
His own podcast. Yayo's another personality like Pac-Man, who's a superstar. You know what I mean? Yayo's one of those guys. Yayo on tour says things that should be in the rap tour Hall of Fame of verbiage, right? Yayo backstage is ticket sale worthy. You would be. I mean, he has no filter. Says what he want to say. Always on point. He's honest. He's genuine. 50 love him. He loved 50. Like, Yayo's he's just one of those guys. And Dave is my bro. You know what I mean? If Dave had anything, I got anything from Dave. We'll figure it out. We'll put it together. But yeah, just even being able to work with these guys that are at this caliber on any level, you know what I mean, is a blessing for me.
I seen you went to the New York Knicks game courtside with Dave East, and you got the make your own way Letterman jacket on. How's that feel for you to walk into, that with your own branding, and you're going courtside with your friend, and how's it feel to be this far now, where you are in your life?
What's crazy, man? I feel like I'm not doing enough. Like that's how I honestly feel, right? I feel like I put an expectation on myself that which is, which can be good or bad, however you want to look at it. But I feel like I'm not doing enough. I'm grateful for the things that I've done. I'm grateful for the place that I am. But it's just something in me, that's like, I could go a little harder. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that, how far I've came, I've came far, right? I know I've came far, and I've came far from where I was to where I am. But in this space that I'm in, I feel like I could take over. You know what I mean? Like I feel like the same way I felt like getting in the booth. The space that I'm in now, can't nobody fuck with me, man. I'm telling you. Like, listen, I'm going in these deals to make deals of 6 figures or better. Every deal I want. I want huge deals. I want percentages. I want deals where a client is looking at me like, how the hell did you do that? You know what I mean? And that's what I'm on. I have one of the best mentors in any business that I got now. And so I feel like I'm doing something. Yeah. But I can do more though. I can do more.
They say when you surround yourself with people doing things, it starts to rub off on you. We know you're part of Green Light Gang. You got the amazing chain. We all saw it on Instagram. But is that true? Is it because you're in that vicinity, your mind frame is changing now? You want bigger deals, you want bigger jets because you see what is out there now. You've not only dreamed it, but you've been in those spots now. So has that opened up your horizons to what's really possible for you?
I mean, just being around a guy like 50, right? Like this dude doesn't get half of the praise he deserves. You know what I mean? Like to be a living legend, to be somebody who's done it in music, who's done it in television, who's done it in business. You know what I mean? Who's done it on every platform that you can possibly do it on, and to have somebody that I can get on the phone and have a conversation with. Listen, I still get shocked that he answers my phone call, right?
Right.
It's still 50, right? Even though that's my dog, I love him. Like that's my for real, but it's still shocking because I grew up a fan of 50. Like, you know what I mean? I'm a fan. Like I remember riding 4 deep to 50 Cent in the car, finna go do something we probably had no business doing. Like I've been a fan, you know what I mean? So no. His mind frame has took me to different heights. Yeah. He's opened doors for me that I couldn't never repay with any kind of dollar. Yeah. Definitely. Just being around that Green Light Gang is the movement. You know what I mean? We are definitely going to take over television, and it's happening, before everybody's eyes. So it's amazing.
How did you find out you were going to be able to go on tour? I don't know what your actually role was. I just seen you had a lot of backstage access and you were at everywhere that they were. So how did you find out you were going to be a part of that? And what was the experience? You know, because you said you were a fan of them, but now getting to see it, all the fans reacting across the world the way they did, what was that experience like for you?
Colossal.
Yeah.
Listen, bro, I remember I went to one of his shows in the country, and I'm at the show, and he's like, "Wait till you see me out of the country."
Yeah,
and we in the country, but it's already 40,000 fans out there, right? They're hanging on to every word. I'm like, all right, 5. I mean, I'm already blown away by this, right?
Yeah.
We go to Dubai. I meet him in Dubai. We get there. I jump in with him. I think we're in like this crazy Benz G-Wagon. I'm in the back seat. We slide.
Yeah.
We got like 6 police car escorts in the front, 6 in the back. We're flying through Dubai. We get there. Stadium like 65, 70,000 people. I mean, you couldn't believe, the words can't describe the influence and the power that this man has. And what I saw for the first time, I've been on a lot of stages. I've seen a lot of tours. I've been backstage a lot of places, but none bigger than 50. Like this was, I mean, I saw this man bring him out on stage.
Yeah.
I saw, this is, this is the dream of all dreams. If you're in music, I'm living that. I'm definitely living that.
And see, now how do you take that? You're with the GOAT, you're with 50 Cent, you're traveling the world, and now you went and got the youngest phenom in the streets on part of the team. Like, what's the excitement level for you now? Because you've seen what the major situation is being on tour with them, and now, like I said, you got the hottest artists in the streets, a part of the team now. So how are you guys doing that, and how did you guys link up in the first place?
I was managing. I'm managing a guy named Sam, who owns Sorry I Was Trapping, the CEO.
Sam.
He's from Detroit. Him and Skilla were already friends.
Yeah.
He introduced me to Skilla. And it's just something about this young man, bro, that I knew had it, right? For me, he didn't smoke it, he didn't drink, which I don't, which already put us on a different kind of bond immediately.
Yeah. Yep.
Then he was just business minded. Like, I'm talking to him. He's like, "Yeah, I own like 14 houses in Detroit." And
yeah, he's a young mogul.
I'm like, "You what?" He's like, "Yeah, and I own 14 houses in Detroit. I take care of everybody. I make sure." And I'm just listening to this young man talk, and he sounds like an old man, right? He's a young man that sounds like an old man. I had already been in the acting world with 50. You know what I mean? We had already been through the process of putting Lil Meech on when 50 got him in the acting classes, and I was there from day one, just going through that whole process. So we knew the process of, creating a megastar from the acting world, and he already had the music world on smash. So we just combined the two now, and now we're taking it by storm. But Skilla's a special athlete. He's a special person, good person, shakes everybody's hand, hugs every fan. Even if I'm like, "Hey, keep going," he like, "No, let me get this one. And I respect that, because I remember I used to do that. Right? For me, it was I used to do that. So he definitely has even though we've only been working together a short period of time, definitely got a very special place in my heart as a solid young man.
Yeah.
And somebody that I could see being colossal in this business. You know what I mean? He could be the next. If he stays at it, he could be the next for sure.
Did you guys have like you said, Sam introduced you, but did you guys already know he was who he was in the streets? Like, you mentioned him in the streets right now, and they're comparing him to Jeezy back in the day. Like, did you guys know he had this movement already, or were you just excited to get to know him because of the relationship with Sam?
Man, hell no, I ain't no shit. I don't listen. I don't listen. Yeah. He just turned 26. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I get the news from younger people. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm not, when I was signed to Jeezy, I could have told you every hot artist out there, because I was in every club every night. I'm in every studio. I'm bouncing around. now I'm trying to see, you know, what stocks is looking like. So I'm not listening to the music. I'm watching the stock exchange. But when I heard his music, when I saw what he was doing, when I saw his work ethic, when I saw his character, when I saw the person he was, I was sold.
Yeah.
I didn't even need to hear the music to know he could be as good, because I saw the person.
Yeah.
The person told me what I needed to know what he could be already. So Sam introduced us, and you know, his work ethic was phenomenal. He's been in acting classes for the past 3 months. As he's been on tour, doesn't miss a class, always on time, always respectful. Like, you know, this guy has it. Like he really has it for sure.
And it's dope because Sam, like, you looked out for Sam and did some activations with him, got him into like the Super Bowl and all that stuff. And then flip side, he introduced you to the hottest artists in the street. So that's just how God works sometimes. When you help someone, then they end up helping you back in return. And, you know, it's a great team you guys have. Like, what is the team environment? I know you've got Blue Visions and we mentioned a few other ones, but why is your team so strong, you think?
Because I ain't dealing with no suckers.
Yeah,
I ain't going for it.
Yeah,
if you got sucker in you, or you ain't got work ethic, I'm passing. You know, the beautiful thing about being a manager, Matt, is I get to pick and choose who I want to work with. Right?
Facts.
I'm not chasing these guys. I'm not going around with the t-shirt saying, "Hey, I want to sign you." I get to pick and choose, right? Yeah. And I only want to choose winners. You know what I mean? I want people that's going to work hard. Your work ethic and your work needs to match the highest of the highest. So if we're out here looking at superstars, then I want my artists to be, you know, chasing those superstars. If you're making videos, and I want you chasing the top videographer. If you know what I mean? If you're making clothes, then hey, for real, we on our way. You know what I mean? This is what we're doing. So I'm going for it. And the people I choose to work with, they're good people. They got great work ethic. We hang together. We talk. We talk a lot. I just signed a guy by the name of Isaac Keys, who's on Force. Who plays what's his name on Force? I think it's can't think of the brain for it. But he's the co-star on Force with Joseph Sakura, and his work ethic is incredible. We had a few meetings. I told him what I expected. He told me what he expected. And after that, you know, it was a match. I just want you to work hard. I don't like people who don't like to work. I'm okay with it not working out. I just don't want to say we didn't work hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You also are behind a dope director, actor, part of the Book of Clarence premiere. I saw you got to go into. What was that experience like? Like, you know, from behind the scenes, because you're getting to see what it was really like, the premiere. How did that feel for you? And are you enjoying all this new access you're getting as the behind the scenes person? You get a different level of access, kind of, if you're not the artist, but you're the man making all the moves. So how's that access going for you? Man,
Kofi Eric Abrifa, to me, is one of my top 4 actors ever. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I mean ever. And I'm a movie goer. So, you know, I'm a movie goer. This guy on a screen is dynamic. Yeah. There is no plan B for him. Yeah. He will never do anything else. It is this or else, right? Yeah. And his work ethic, his professionalism, the way he carries himself. He's from London. He went to school for theater. Yeah. This is all he knows, right? This is all he knows. And I went to Italy with him for, I think we stayed a month. I stayed there a month. I was there when we shot the Book of Clarence. Yeah. Amazing. James Samuel was the one who kind of hooked Eric up in this situation. Ratman, a few of his other friends. But yeah, that was man, that was phenomenal. Italy was phenomenal. The movie set was phenomenal. Yeah. Eric is phenomenal. He's a superstar. Plays Lamar on BMF in the first 2 seasons. He's also in Super Sale right now, which was trending on Netflix about a week or 2 ago.
Yeah, facts. Great show.
He's a superstar, bro. Yeah. This guy is a superstar. So Yeah, I mean, I can't. The guys that I work with, I'm also fans of, right? And that means a lot to me, right? I don't want to work with people that I don't like your work. Like I don't want to say, hey, Matt, let's work with this guy. We'll make a shit ton of money off of him, but I really don't like the guy.
Yeah,
that doesn't work for me. That doesn't work for me. I'm fans of the guys that I work with, all of them.
Now, I definitely got to ask you because people are going to want to know, like, if somebody's an actor out there, if they're a talented director, they got street movies all ready to go. Like, what can they do to grab your attention? Is it they have to come from somebody, a part of the team, or is there something you're watching for that might help them, grab your attention?
Keep working is so cliche, right? Because everybody says it. But you have to come with something, right?
Yeah.
And it has to be something that is almost so powerful that you can't be denied. Meaning that if you are shooting something, please shoot it with something that's going to look presentable if you have to show it to 50 Cent, right? Yeah. If you are acting, please come with something that is presentable if I have to show it to the agency. If you are rapping, please make sure the microphone that you're rapping on, right? Are you running things through an Avalon? You know what I mean? Are you getting things mixed and mastered, right? Because there's so many great people that have great talents, but don't take the extra step to show the professionalism
the
of what you're doing, right? So you have to prepare for these things. Sometimes you got to work 2 jobs to get enough money just to get the microphone you need to rap on. Sometimes you got to work 3 jobs, night job and day job, just to get the right camera to film something on, because your iPhone is cool, but there also is something else that'll give you that extra notch where we're going to know that wasn't shot on an iPhone, right?
Yeah.
If you're doing, auditions, you want to make sure you got the ring light. You want to be somewhere with a solid background, right? There's professionalism that goes into I'm just talented, right? So there's a million talented people. But to be talented and professional is what we would be looking for, because no one has time in these day and age to say, hey, you're so good, but damn, I got to groom you. Damn, I got to. You almost have to come with a finished product. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to be, all the way complete, but you want to be close enough to being complete that you can't be denied. So I think people need to realize that there are formulas, and they are things that you must do when you want to present yourself to someone to get to the next level.
I appreciate you saying that, because you're so true. Like in anything you're going to do successful in life, there's a template for it. And the people who are successful at it, they know what steps have to be done. Like when back in the day, if you were an artist submitting songs to a DJ, you couldn't hand them a CD with the marker on it. No matter how dope the CD was, they didn't think you knew the first step of the game, which was get it professionally mixed and mastered. So don't eliminate yourself from an opportunity because you didn't do the standard, submissions that you just broke down. I really appreciate that. I know you're a super busy person, so I'm not going to take too much more of your time, but anything else you and your team got coming up? Any releases for the clothing or, events that your clients are going to be up? We can circle on the calendar for you.
I mean, there's so many. I got Sam is going to be in Miami at Rolling Loud. Sorry, I was trapping. Isaac Keys has Force, the 3rd season coming out. Kofi Abrief was working on Supercell 2. Skilla Baby has Crack Music 3 dropping. Just shot videos. I have videographers, which is Blue Vision and Kev, which are working on a mini movie and a mini series, which is amazing. There's Pac-Man Jones, his TV show is doing crazy. Shout out to Bet Online, who he's also working with. Yeah, man, it's a blessing and it's an honor to be where I'm at in this stage of my life. I just want to be the best help that I can be for people. You know what I mean? I want to make sure people get treated right. You get the best deal. I want to help people get rich. I want to help people make great decisions. And I also want to show people that change is possible, right? Like if you've seen me from the beginning, which I know you have, I wasn't this 10 years ago. I'm not totally 7 years ago. You know what I mean? This is the man that I've evolved in, learning that time changes, seasons change. the world is always spinning, and if you can't spend and change with the times, you'll get lost in the dust, right? So it's just about being great, it's just about making the right decisions. And I'm always looking for the next.
Yeah.
And looking means not that I'm out searching, but if you happen to come across the desk and if it happens to make sense,
it can make sense. Yeah.
We can do it together for sure.
Now, we mentioned your team a few times. How important is a team for you, and who are some of the members we may not have mentioned that you want to make sure to highlight that helps everything you're doing, get done?
Oh, Sincere is amazing. That's one of the behind the scenes guru. I got to give a strong shout out to some athletes that I work with, which is Jeremy McNichols, John Ross. Shout out to Josh Palmer, who just did one of his first acting roles in Canada, who plays for the Chargers. These are my guys. But yeah, I mean, we all make this thing go round, right? Shout out to IAG, the agency that I work close with. I run a lot of my clients through there as far as acting and music. And yeah, this is just this is what I do now, and I want to be the best at it. Like, I want to be known as the guy that go gets the deal for the team. I'm gonna get you the best deal. I'm gonna make sure we don't leave any crumbs on the table. Not because we want it, but because I know we deserve it. Right? I'm coming in knowing what we deserve. We're going to put the work in. We're going to have the hottest product. We're going to have the hottest clients. We got the hottest clothes. We're coming with good energy. We're coming with professionalism, but we're also not taking any bullshit. So, that's what we're doing. You know what I mean? That's the motivation, and that's what we're doing.
I know you do a lot of things to give back to the community. Can you highlight something or one thing that you and your team have done to help, people where you're from, or that you're doing this year for the community?
Yeah, no, backpack giveaways, clothing giveaways, things for the kids. I just brought Skiller Baby to the hood not too long ago. They went crazy for that. He's jumping out of the local gas station and liquor store, just saying what's up. It's going crazy. And I just want to give people hope, right? I know there are people that come from where I come from that are trying to figure out how to transition. And transition comes, with change. I read a lot of books, so I don't know if people read, but read books. Books are very important for all my guys out there. Everybody should read the book, The Superior Man. It's a very important book. Every man should read that book. It's called The Way of the Superior Man. Guys and girls should read the book. It's called The Hidden Messages of Water. It's another book that's very tedious, that gives you little gems. But there's things that you can find in books, though. Little tricks of the trade that you can use in business and in life. So I use that a lot. But just shout out to the guys, man. Shout out to the guys. And when we do this interview in two more years, Matt, we're going to be 10 times better than this one. Right? Watch what we do. And man, we're going to make this a thing. We're going to make this a thing.
Like I know Sincere's told you, man, but I'm Team Rockett all the way. Like, whatever I can do to help you, man. And like, you got access to all the brands we're building, all the resources we have. Because like I said, you're my day one interview. And I love you as a person, man, because you're so humble. Like you are doing bigger things than anybody in the game. And you're sitting here just humble. Like, anybody else would be jumping off a building saying, look at me now. But you're still like, you're just enjoying it. And, there's a bigger purpose for that. Outside of all this dope stuff you're doing in entertainment and managing people and clothing, what do you like to do for fun? Like, if you got downtime to yourself, what are you doing to enjoy yourself?
I'm kicking ass on Call of Duty. Definitely doing that. I go to the gym. I still play basketball when I can. I like to read. I like to help people, though. That's part of my downtime, right? It's not about what you can do, is just how you can do it, right? It's how can you help. Sometimes helping is a phone call. Sometimes helping is connecting people. Sometimes helping is somebody figure out something that, was a challenge, and then we find a solution. So I love helping people, man. I love, I'm so striving for greatness, but I'm so grateful to be where I'm from. It's a weird balance. It's like, I know I'm going here. But man, I'm so happy here. Like, it's, what I mean? Because there were days where I didn't even know where I was going. You know,
right. There was days this would have been the dream. This would have been what you would imagine as the biggest accomplishment.
I never even fathomed this. This is like, you know, I run around with 50 Cent. Like, to even say that sounds crazy. You know what I mean? I've been to multiple countries with the man. I've been to dinner with him. I talk business with him. I tell him about my goals. I tell him about what I want to do. He's the reason why I got into management. Like, this is like what. If it was over yesterday, I fucking won. Like, you know, I won twice over. I won twice over.
Agreed.
Everything else is a bonus, but I want all the bonus too. So I'm going to go get that. You know what I mean? Yeah. The work doesn't stop. It is what it is.
And then last thing, what do you have to say to your fans, the supporters over all these years? You know, what do you want to say back to them?
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for the motivation. Thank you for believing in me. You know what I mean? All, the people that I've shook hands with, people who just like my music, people who like me as a person, just thank you. You know what I mean? Because you could have threw it out the window. You know what I mean? There's CDs we've thrown out the window. There's people we met that we like, I don't fuck with that guy. I don't like that girl. You know what I mean? There's people like that. So anybody that's ever supported me in any kind of way, like, and my thank you is from the bottom of my heart too. That's not, thank you. Because without them, I don't even get here, right? Like, without having my music career, I don't get here. Yeah. There's no way. These go together for me. So, anybody else trying to do it, just, I know it sounds weird, but just do it. Like, it just, and don't be scared to fail. That's another one. You know what I mean? I've failed a lot. 50's failed a lot. My clients have failed a lot. We've all failed.
It's when you get back up.
It's so big, right? That one win takes all those fails away.
Yeah, you forget.
Yeah, man. What you do? You like, just forget that. I'm gonna celebrate my win. So just thank everybody that's ever supported me.
And then, as a selfish Rockett or fan, like, any thoughts of Back to the Booth? Can we get a soundtrack for these movies? Like, any itch to get a feature with, like, for us fans of your lyrical ability? And any thoughts about getting back in the booth?
Let me shout out MB3. That's my guy who's from my city, who raps also. Rocking with him close.
Okay.
He got me on a hook not too long ago. We won't talk about that. And I actually did a verse for Ab Soul not too long ago. Listen. Okay. Listen, he told me to come to the studio. I'm supposed to be listening to some records, right? And get in there, and he's like, just jump on that real quick. And I'm like, nah, I don't rap no more. My man's like, nah, this is going to be legendary. My boy Cam is in there. We all from Carson. So it turns in there to be like, doing Cam Carson is doing a record, Abs jumping on, I jump on. And I mean, for me, it was riding the bike, right? It took me 10 minutes. Took me 10 minutes. I was amazing. Let me not forget that I was amazing on the track. But no, I'm done, bro. I'm done. I still love it, and I know it's something that I can do with ease. Yeah. And I can definitely get in there and